Every single character pretty much in the movie has him in it. He said Allison is me, but he also said that everybody's me.
Just in terms of telling the story of these 5 specific stereotypes, what worked is no matter who you were, you can put yourself in one of those boxes. So that made, right from the start, it makes the film very relatable.
Everybody's gone to high school. So there's a good chance that you're going to reach a very big audience because everybody knows what you're talking about.
Saturday, March 24th, 1984. Shermer High School, Shermer, Illinois.
He's just able to pull it out and not be trite about it or not be overly simple about it. They're complicated, all his characters. All of them, actually. Even in the really broad comedies, they're complicated.
It's John's heart. It's just awesome. I think that it's demonstrated by all of the characters in all of his films.
It just kind of opened up those doors and said, you know, these stereotypes are there because kids in general need a place to hide when they're in high school. And you sort of hide in your little box.
People can relate to being marginalized in whatever way, in a relationship, in a family, at home, because of their ethnicity, whatever, you know? And I think what's interesting is the film dares to kind of attack that in a way by using these characters. So it was a brilliant idea.
Those little moments where you see where these kids are coming from, where they've already had to put on their armor, and just the way the car drives away from Allie and on the whole thing, you know, it's very subtle at the beginning. It gives us a nice setup to those guys. And the fact that Bender has no parent, that he's just walking on his own. I mean, I think that those are really good setups. I think that the kids have a lot of armor that they slowly take off during the film.
That was the biggest challenge, is having them arrive at school with their coats and giving them their ID, so to speak. You already get a feeling of what you're dealing with these guys.
Marilyn Vance had these boards. They're like vision boards, basically, that somebody will make with, you know, ideas for different characters and cutouts from magazines. And she just had, like, Allison was all over it. It was just fantastic.
That was to John's direction, because when you're sitting in a space for a long time and you're just looking at each other and you're in a room of strangers and you start, you know, the air gets tight and you get all those feelings and suddenly one's taking off the coat and, you know, you're kind of adjusting to your atmosphere. And that's the progression.
That's the genius of these films, is that the level of the young characters and the older characters, they are not caricatured even when they're played as character types. And that's why John Hughes was a far better writer doing that sort of material than anybody else.